Our slides have hybridized overnight and they're ready to be washed. About an hour before you're washing your slides, you need to take your first wash solution and put it in the 73-degree water bath so it can warm up to temp. We will also have a room temp wash solution. The other thing I recommend getting out before washing slides is the DAPI counter stain. It's very viscous when it's cold, so I like to let it get to room temperature as well. Now you're ready to go get your slides and start washing. So now we need to remove the rubber cement that we put on our slides last night. So there are several ways you can do it, however you feel comfortable. Usually rolling the rubber cement makes it come off pretty easily. And sometimes the cover slips will still be left on. You want to make sure you remove cover slips before washing, or else the washing will not work. They just slide right off. Sometimes you can just stick two slides together and a lot of the rubber cement will come off. And then you just roll off the rest, with trying not to touch the areas that were actually hybridized. Once you have removed the rubber cement and the cover slips, you're ready to go into the first wash solution. And that's at 73 degrees. I wouldn't put more than 4 slides into this at a time, or else the temperature will decrease too much. Again, you'll leave them there for 2 minutes before moving on to the room temp wash. The room temperature wash is for 1 minute. After that minute, the slides are ready to be dried. Once the slides are dried, you're ready to add the counter stain. I generally add about 15 microliters of DAPI 2 for each one of these 18 by 18 millimeter cover slips. All this should be done fairly quickly. You don't want the slides at this point exposed to light more than they need to be. Now we're ready to add the cover slips. Again, one cover slip will go over each area where we added a probe yesterday. So 2 per slide. So while I'm working with one slide, I try to keep the other ones covered up. So now we will remove the excess DAPI. And finally, we'll seal them with nail polish. Put them in the dark when you're done and allow the nail polish to dry. And that's it. Once your nail polish is dry, you're ready to analyze your slide. Normally, we would have only red lights on in here, of course, so the fluorophores didn't quench, but today we're leaving the lights on. Everything we do is oil immersion, so the first thing you'll need to do is add oil. And then you can use either a 60x or a 100x or a 50x objective, whatever you guys have. Any of those will work. And then you can start looking through and analyzing your results. For the 814 probe, you'll be looking at red and green with your dual filter, but you'll also switch over to the aqua filter to see the 8 centromere signals. And again, with the 814, that's a fusion probe. You're looking for 2 fusions to indicate the standard translocation. With MIC probe, it's a break apart, so you're looking for a red-green fusion signal pattern to indicate that the red and green have broken apart from each other. As you're reading, you may find it useful to use a counter. We set up our counters with labels to show common signal patterns that we might see. So as we're reading, say if I'm reading MIC, I'll see a lot of these 2 fusion normal patterns. And then if I see some red-green fusions, I'll click those, and you go until you hit 100 cells. 2 readers will each read 100 cells, and you will take 2 pictures of every significant signal pattern you see based upon the validation that you'll be doing. After completing analysis of your 100 cells, write down the results that you have seen. And after the second reader has done the same, you can tally the results of both readers. Finally, you can mark any significant patterns that you saw, whether abnormal or normal, and then use the ISCN to complete the nomenclature in the results section.